Okay. You know it's football season when it's driving home from the game, recapping the game. Hey, we won a preseason game for the first time in 5 years. We had lost 10 in a row. KOC got his first preseason win. 24-23 over the Raiders. Some good, some bad, I mean, I'll say this as far as so often you watch preseason games and it's just boring as hell. This was a pretty entertaining football game. I mean, I've seen worse regular season games. There were a couple, including the last one between these two teams was a way worse game to watch. So I mean, the headline will be JJ McCarthy. I mean, everybody was looking to see kind of how he played, and I think if that was your thing that you wanted to see, I think you can come away very, very happy because he did throw the pick on his I think that was his first drive, and it was kind of a one of those ones where guy gets a little overzealous, thinks he can gun one in, gets picked off, whatever. But he hit a lot of really nice passes, and he bounced back great after the pick, and he threw a couple of really, really pretty touchdown passes. What was it? One to Tristan Jackson, and I forget who caught the other one. I forget who caught the other one. Was that Jackson? Maybe who caught the other one, or Bucky Jackson. But I mean, you just watch him, and you always have to allow for the reality that a lot of the guys he's playing against are not like starting players, but he also wasn't playing with a lot of starters. So a person can interpret it however they choose. I choose to look at it that it's a very promising start. I don't think it means he's going to be QB1 in week 1, because I think Sam Darnold, his one drive, he only got one drive, first drive of the game, they went for a fourth down inside the 5, and it didn't work out. But Darnold looked pretty good too. He threw a couple of really nice passes, looked fine. I still think it's Darnold's job to lose for week 1, but I think everything we've been seeing from McCarthy tells me that he's close, that he's going to be starting, I think, sooner than maybe some people thought. Now that'll be up to Darnold. I mean, Darnold is great for the start of the season and keeps that up. I mean, he's going to hold off McCarthy. But I think if you're you're hoping that JJ can be this guy, he can be the guy that he's the young franchise quarterback, star right out of the gate type of quarterback that we've all been waiting for. Obviously, a preseason, about 2 quarters of a preseason game does not mean that's the case, but I think you can absolutely come away from this game feeling pretty positive about it. And Darnold looked pretty good too. And then, of course, at the end, they threw Jaron Hall in there, and he looked for a couple drives like he couldn't even play in the in the XFL or the UFL or whatever the hell that league is called. But then he ended up, leading a drive to win the game. The rookie kicker, Reichard, boots a kick, and we win the game. And of course, he had a kick blocked earlier, just because we always have to have some anxiety. I think that was more of the guys blocking, just completely imploded on that kick. But I think it's some good, some bad. I think you can come away feeling very good about McCarthy. I think you come away feeling pretty good about Darnold. Dallas Turner had a really nice sack. I think that was on the first Raider drive to stop their drive. The big negative of this one is the defense really did not look good at all. And the Raiders are not exactly a high-powered offense. It was, Aiden O'Connell and then Gardner Minshew, and they were both just carving us up. And some of that was first team. I mean, they didn't start everybody, but most starters played. And there was a report today that Stephon Gilmore's coming in this week to visit the Vikings. Whatever they're going to pay him, that amount of money went up off of this game, because the secondary, the guys that were out there were just getting absolutely torched, and not getting torched by top level quarterbacks. So it was pretty bad. Now was Flores really calling like a serious game? I don't know. Obviously nobody really like does a super complicated or detailed game plan for a preseason game, especially not preseason game number 1. So was Flores just not really putting it all out there? He probably wasn't, but it's preseason, and again, it's preseason game and preseason game number 1, but it's still something that I found pretty alarming, because I don't think anyone's expecting an unbelievable defense. Like last year, Flores had this defense working pretty good for a while, and then it just lack of personnel and injuries just took its toll. They're bringing in cornerbacks off the street, just trying to see what sticks, because we've had every kind of misfortune you can think of at the cornerback position already over the last month or two. But they're just trying to see what sticks. I mean, a couple guys had a nice play. Was it Bobby McClain, who was another one of these guys we just kind of brought in recently, had a hell of a hit on someone. And obviously, the defense was a little better in the second half when it was like, way down the depth chart. So what do we even know? What do we even know about who was doing what? Was it Bo Richter got in there, had a sack or two? Like, but what do we don't know? Like, those are the guys who are going to be playing to make, stick on a practice squad, or maybe eke out one of those last couple 53-man roster spots. But I feel like that was the big bad of this one, was the defense in that first half, just not good. And then obviously getting that kick blocked sucked, because it's like, Riker's probably good, and obviously he hit the winner, and he hit his other kicks in the game. Most of the time when a field goal is blocked, it's not really the kicker's fault. But it's just needless anxiety. What else? Run game looked pretty good. Kene Nwangwu busted off a long touchdown. That was cool. He's not a lock to be on the roster, so anything that he can do to stick is big. His chances are probably more in the kickoff. I don't know. This was the first time really watching this new kickoff setup. I don't know. It seems really dumb to me, but maybe it'll end up over time, getting more action into the kickoff. I'm all for having more action on the kickoffs. I'm fine with that. I don't quite understand yet, like, if you kick it in the end zone, or if it's touchback. The touchback rules seem a little different, so I don't know what's all going on there. Maybe I should actually read up on it. But there was nothing really going on with that. Nothing really else in the game that I can think of. Obviously JJ, or the other JJ, Justin Jefferson. I'm gonna have to stop saying JJ, because now we get two. Jefferson didn't play. Not that he would. Jalen Naylor made a couple nice catches. He's looking to lock down that third wide receiver spot. He probably will. There was some talk of bringing in Juju Smith-Schuster, because he just got released, I think, yesterday. And that was the other thing that happened the other day. They traded Andrew Booth to Dallas, and they got another cornerback in return. So they're very much in a desperate state with some of these cornerbacks. If they can bring in Gilmore, he was very, very good at one point. He's still, I think, pretty decent, but it's a problem position, and then you have a couple of really, one an unfortunate life-ending situation, and another unfortunate major injury situation, thinning the roster even more. I think we'll just have to see how that goes, because I think if the QB position is pretty productive, which it looks like it might be, and the run game is better, like, this could be a very, very good offense regardless of which quarterback is out there. But can the defense, be decent? Wow, you're driving on the shoulder next to me. That's not how you're supposed to drive. A lot of angry drunks at the game today. I don't know why there were so many angry drunks. I mean, you always find there's always a few angry drunks, but it seemed like kind of overkill to have angry drunks at a game that really doesn't have any stakes to it. So yeah, I think, entertaining game as far as preseason games go, and we got a win. KOC got his first preseason win. Very happy for him. Truly a pinnacle moment. But it might be an actual game that's remembered. Like, I can't remember. Like, the last preseason game they won was in 2019. You give me a multiple choice, I couldn't tell you who they beat. And most preseason games I've been to in my life, I probably couldn't tell you anything that happened. Other than a couple, like the Favre debut and maybe a couple others, they're just not memorable games. But this was a pretty entertaining game, at least. If you're gonna have to have preseason games, and at least have them be somewhat entertaining. It was nice having actual starters play, because last couple years KOC wasn't playing anybody. And we got some positives, we got some negatives, but I think the big takeaway is, if everyone's pinning their hopes on JJ McCarthy, and I think we're a long way out from knowing for sure, but I think this was a very, very positive debut performance and debut showing from JJ McCarthy. He had a couple nice scrambles in there too. He's got to stop diving head first. He's gonna have problems if he keeps that up. But I think I really, I've been a skeptic pretty much on the JJ McCarthy thing, just because I'm always kind of a skeptic on some of these rookie quarterbacks, because most of them don't work out, and I haven't really been paying attention to how this new crop have been doing in their preseason games so far. But I think JJ McCarthy showed himself very well in this game, and hopefully that bodes well for his the future. I'm sure he'll play plenty in the next preseason game. I know they play the Eagles and the Browns. I can't remember which order, but I'm sure he'll play a lot in that second game, and then probably the third one maybe they'll sit him. But good start for JJ McCarthy. I'll just stop saying JJ, and I'll just start saying the last names. So yeah, I think it's a good day for the future of the Vikings, because it looks like we have a very young quarterback. Boy, is he young! It makes me feel very old when we got a quarterback who's as young as he is. When you got a quarterback who looks like he can play, and doesn't mean he's gonna be great every game, but I think he's got a shot, and I think we should all be very happy as Vikings fans that we got this guy, and we'll see what the future holds. And I'm hitting the drive-thru in a second to order some food, so I'm gonna stop the video, but we'll see you next week for whichever opponent it is, Eagles or Browns, I forget, but Skol